This is a video upload about the brief practice of requesting the 7 types of wisdom in conjunction with the Migtsema prayer, the 5-line Migtsema prayer that's going to be found in Heart Jewel. So during the Guru Yoga to Jason Karpa, we do it in the middle of that. Just after the mandala offering, there's a 5-line Migtsema prayer, as I'm sure many of you are familiar. What you might not be aware of is there's a practice of requesting one of each of the 7 types of wisdom using the Migtsema prayer. All it needs is to add in 2 minutes of silent time just after the Migtsema prayer. So you try and recite the Migtsema prayer for 7 times, and then you have 2 minutes to visualize the blessings and the attainments of each of these 7 types of wisdom. This is a practice explained in the book Heart Jewel. Right, so the 7 types of wisdom are 1. Great wisdom. 2. Clear wisdom. 3. Quick wisdom. 4. Profound wisdom. 5. The wisdom of expounding Dharma. 6. The wisdom of spiritual debate. And 7. The wisdom of composing Dharma books. So this is what I've written here is a brief summary of each of these 7 wisdom descriptions and how to do the practice. Just my own kind of summary in my own words to help me practice each day quickly. So the full text can be found in the book Heart Jewel, but here it's just much easier to follow a brief description. So a description of great wisdom, if we can understand easily, perfectly and without difficulty all the objects that we need to abandon, such as true sufferings and true origins, and all the objects that we need to accomplish, such as true cessations and true paths. This indicates that we have great wisdom. So if we were to meditate on the attainment of great wisdom after we've recited the Migtsema prayer 7 times, and we imagine that white light comes to our crown channel wheel on the crown of our head from the hearts of Jason Karpa and 2 sons, Kedrubje and Galtsubje. Then orange-coloured nectar flows through the white light. The white light is like straws, and orange-coloured nectar flows through these white light, straw-like blessings. Our body is completely filled with orange-coloured nectar. So for each of these 7 wisdoms, the orange-coloured nectar is visualised in a different atomic form. So you can kind of really use your imagination here. In this practice of attaining great wisdom, we imagine that the orange-coloured nectar is in the form of atoms of tiny Manjushris, Manjushri Buddhas. And this fills our body completely, from the toes to our head. Then these tiny Manjushris radiate light and gather to all 10 directions in the universe, all directions, and then gather back the great wisdom of all the Buddhas in the form of form body Manjushri. So this is the wisdom beings dissolving into the commitment beings. Then they dissolve into our root mind and our heart. And imagine they dissolve inwards from the head, from the arms, from the legs, inwards from the body into the heart chakra in the center of our body. We now believe that we have received the great wisdom of all the Buddhas. And then in the sadhana, you continue with the prayer of the stages of the path. Clear wisdom. If we can clearly distinguish the subtle characteristics of phenomena, such as the 16 characteristics of the Four Noble Truths, this indicates that we have clear wisdom. Right. So I'm going to guide a meditation on the 16 characteristics of the Four Noble Truths. I have a meditation program that extrapolates those that wisdom. But for now, we can request using the Migtsema prayer. This time, the orange-coloured nectar is visualised in the image of Manjushri's mantra, which is Om Mani Padme Hum. 6 letters Om Mani Padme Hum. These emanate infinite light and draw back the clear wisdom of all the Buddhas in the same image. So that's when the wisdom beings enter the commitment beings. Then it dissolves and mixes with our root mind at our heart chakra. Now we believe that we have received the clear wisdom of all the Buddhas. So when you're doing meditations where you're making subtle distinctions between different phenomena, it's when you need clear wisdom. Different characteristics of the same entity and so forth. Quick wisdom. Whenever doubts, wrong conceptions or unknowing manifests in our mind, if we can dispel them quickly by gaining a perfect understanding of the actual nature of these objects, this indicates that we have quick wisdom. For example, relying upon our spiritual guide, understanding the true nature of samsara, true nature of changing suffering, and so forth. This time the orange-coloured nectar is made of tiny D letters. So that's the commitment beings pouring in through our crown from the Jason Carper and 2 sons. These radiate light to all directions and draw back all the quick wisdom in the same aspect. That's the wisdom beings dissolving into the commitment being. That's when all the blessings are gathered within our body and mind. These wisdom beings then dissolve into our root mind and mix with it, causing us to experience the subtle mind of clear light. So imagine we experience clear light, endowed with quick wisdom, and we meditate on this for a little while. Profound wisdom. If we can perfectly understand all the profound meanings of the scriptures without any difficulty, this indicates that we have profound wisdom. So these requests, you just do them over and over again. I'm doing them every time I do Heart Jewel. Just doing them every day over and over again, so that eventually I will receive these attainments. Summary. First, we visualize the white light from the hearts of Jason Carper and 2 sons as normal. This time the orange-coloured nectar is in the aspect of tiny Dharma scriptures and Manjushri's wisdom swords. Right, so I think we've all seen pictures of Manjushri, and he's holding in his hand a Dharma scripture and a wisdom sword. Imagine countless of these filling our body Again, these emanate light and draw back all the profound wisdom of all the Buddhas. After the wisdom beings have dissolved into the commitment beings, they dissolve into our root mind and our heart channel wheel. We believe that our very subtle mind has absorbed the profound wisdom of all the Buddhas. Meditate for a little while. Alright, so the next one is something we can use if we're going to teach Dharma to others. Number 5, the wisdom of expounding Dharma. Might be useful in a meditation class as well, foundation program class, for example. When we are giving Dharma teachings, we need a special wisdom that realizes how much the listeners can understand and which subjects are suitable for them. Moreover, we need to understand the correct order of the subjects we are going to talk about, what to say first, what to say next, and so on. We need to understand perfectly the meaning of all that we are going to talk about, and we need to understand special methods such as suitable analogies and conclusive reasons that will clarify the meaning for others. So in this practice, we visualize the profound wisdom of Jason Karpa and his 2 sons flowing into us and our crown in the form of orange-coloured nectar. All the atoms are in the aspect of tiny Dharma books that we are about to explain. These tiny books emanate light to 10 directions and draw back the wisdom of expounding Dharma in the same aspect. After we absorb the wisdom beings, these dissolve into our root mind and mix with it. We believe that we have received this wisdom and absorbed it into our heart. Okay, number 6, the wisdom of spiritual debate, which is something that we may need to engage in when we meet with other aspiring Dharma practitioners at festivals, or it might be during the foundation programs group discussion or teacher training programs group discussion, and something like this. It might be when you meet somebody who's got strong religious views and you need to protect your own faith and your own practice. Or if somebody asks you a Dharma question, that you will be capable of providing them with the truth and the answers that they need. So we need wisdom, the wisdom of spiritual debate for these things, because wrong views are very prevalent in these degenerate times. Since there are so many different views in the world, both religious and non-religious, which are contrary to the views that are presented in Dharma teachings, we need a special wisdom that understands the method for dispelling such views through skillful debate or discussion. In this way, we can lead many people to correct views by engaging in actions such as spiritual debate. This time, the orange-coloured nectar is in the aspect of tiny wheels as swords. First, white light from their hearts focus on our crown like straws, and then through them orange wisdom nectar of atoms of wisdom sword wheels. From the 10 directions draws back the wisdom of spiritual debate in the same aspect. After these wisdom beings dissolved into our body, they dissolve into our root mind and our heart. We have absorbed the wisdom of spiritual debate of all the Buddhas. Again, you can imagine that you're experiencing the very subtle mind at your heart. It's a good practice, especially if you do Mahamudra Tantra practice, if we imagine our mind residing at our heart and dissolving inwards from all the different places of the body, and focus on that point. And we can imagine that we're experiencing a very subtle mind, a clear light mind, and at the same time we can hold that belief that we've attained the wisdom of spiritual debate briefly during the meditation. This helps draw the blessings to our heart quicker, like bringing the future result into the path. A tantric method. Migtsema is a tantric method. Yeah. Okay. So number 7, the wisdom of composing Dharma books. Composing Dharma books is a skill that I've learned over many, many years of hard work. I've done a little bit of these requests in the past, and recently I'm doing it regularly. But in reality, without deep realizations, I, like anyone would find it very difficult, and I do find it difficult to write qualified Dharma books. I'm very careful to edit my books over and over again until the precise meaning is conveyed and there's nothing that can be misconstrued. So I do that. I edit my meditations and my books that I print over and over again until I've removed the faults from the writing. But we can use this practice of requesting this attainment. Eventually we can gain the full realization of the wisdom of composing Dharma books. Dharma books are the eyes through which sentient beings can see the spiritual paths to liberation and enlightenment, the light by which they can dispel the darkness of ignorance, and the spiritual guide from whom they can receive reliable advice. My throat's getting quite dry. Therefore, composing authentic Dharma books brings immense benefit to many living beings and causes Buddha Dharma to remain for a very long time. However, to compose authentic Dharma books, we need a special wisdom. We need perfect understanding of the subject matter and the confidence to write about it. And we also need the wisdoms of listening, contemplating, and meditating. With these, they can develop the special wisdom that has the complete ability to compose Dharma books. So some of the practice. Request by reciting the Migtsema prayer is normal. White light, like straws, enter our crown from the hearts of Jason Karpa and 2 sons. Then orange wisdom nectar in the aspect of tiny Dharma books on the subject upon which we are going to write, and tiny wheels of swords. After the light has drawn back all the wisdom of composing Dharma books in this aspect, and the wisdom beings dissolve into this body, these tiny books and wheels of swords dissolve and mix with our root mind and our heart. And again, if we're familiar with Mahamudra practice, you can imagine that a very subtle mind manifests in our heart, that our mind resides within our heart chakra, on a level of our heart in the centre of our body, in the central channel. And that we hold the belief that we have attained the wisdom of composing Dharma books briefly in meditation. Okay, thank you very much.